Still light up. I need to be ready to review tomorrow on that.
Good afternoon and welcome to Agriculture Today, coming to you from the Northern Ag Expo. It is the Prosaro Power Hour, and we're going to bring you up to date and everything going on here with the Northern Ag Expo, and of course a great trade show and some great seminars as well. We'll check those market numbers in a moment, but quick guest here, Randy.
Yeah, visiting with John Nowatzki with the University of North Dakota State University, Extension Ag Machine Systems Specialist. And John, one of the seminar presenters here this morning, we were talking about with as wet as this fall is tillage systems, and if we need a frost on this ground to get this rest of this crop harvested, what do we do next spring? What are you looking at?
Well, first of all, obviously the tillage is done now because snow came to the northern part of the state. So all the tillage that would have been done is going to have to be done in the spring. And there's a different issue in the spring. In the fall, if you go in and dig it up and release some clods, it's not a problem because the winter kind of takes care of that. But in the spring, you have to be able to do some kind of tillage that's not going to cause problems. And there's basically 2 or 3 problems. One problem is compaction. Anytime you do anything on wet soils, the likelihood of compaction increases significantly. So we want to avoid that. And the compaction, of course, decreases yield. And you're not going to be able to do anything as far as getting rid of that compaction. Secondly, if you're going to go in with any kind of a shank, like a chisel plow or a ripper, it's going to leave clods in the spring of the year if it's wet, particularly the heavy clay soils. And so you have to avoid using the chisel plow rippers in the spring. Instead, probably a better option is vertical tillage. And vertical tillage uses just, instead of like a disc where you have a disc at an angle, here you have coulters that are running straight. And they put a waviness to them so that it does tear up the soil a little bit, but it sizes the residue so you can get through with your planters.
Is the residue management, is that the key?
Residue management is the key in order to be able to get through. And you're not going to be able to do any serious tillage in the spring. So you have to be able to size it, get it down to size. And then you have to be able to get some soil showing so that you can warm up the soil. That's the other issue, warming it up in the spring so that you can get that soil up to 45, 50 degrees, 55 degrees for germination, particularly if you're going with the farm.
How about ruts? I've seen all kinds of soybean stubble now with tracks through them and water standing in them. You try to get those closed this fall yet, or do you wait till the spring and do that?
Well, you would try to close them this fall. And in fact, you can go in when there's a light frost, a half-inch of frost on the soil. You could, in the next few days, go in there and level it off with light tillage. But if not, you got to do it in the spring with a disc, something light, go 3 inches deep.
Yeah, all right. Let's send it back to Mike here. Check these markets here this afternoon. We want to thank John Nowatzki from North Dakota State University for stopping by here this afternoon at the Northern Ag Expo.